Hey everyone, welcome back to my channel. This is Amy, and my channel is Amy Katz Colors. I love to color. I am excited to present for you in this video my 2025 coloring year in review, otherwise known as the Coloring Reflections Tag video, that was started by Karen at My Colorful Country Life, and she's been doing this for a while now. I did one last year as well, reviewing 2024. In fact, I went back and rewatched that video to kind of refresh my memory on where I was a year ago in preparation for this one. So it's an open tag, and there are 25 questions associated with it. And it's all about looking backward at the past year and all of the coloring and things that we've accomplished. So I'm excited. These are always fun to film. I'm going to kind of jump right in. It's a lot to talk about today. So I have some stuff prepped. By the way, this is my first time, I think, filming a video with my new mat. This is the first honest to goodness desk mat that I've used to film for a background. I've used different things. Actually, I think my last video, it was like wrapping paper, wasn't it? I think it was like Christmas wrapping paper. I've used wrapping paper. I've used different types of tablecloths and fabrics and different things like that, which are all fine, but this is kind of neat. I like having a mat. So, hope you like it. All right, getting to my reflections. So, number one is, which 10 completed pages are your favorites from the year for 2025? And so, the way I'm choosing to answer this one is, despite the fact that I color more in the Amazon printed square, kind of like cute, cozy, bold, easy type books and color by number, I'm not choosing any of those for my top 10. I'm doing some of the other things that required a little bit more creativity, I guess is what we'll say. And yeah, but last year, I filmed a separate video of my top 10 favorite pages. This time, I think I'm just going to go ahead and include it. And in no particular order, because I did not rank these. I'm going to start with the page completed out of Shooting Star from Maria Trolle. And this is my first and only page completed in this book. And it's this one here. And I chose this one not because I was 100% thrilled with how it turned out, but because this kind of represented some of my earliest experiences working with ink tints and neocolors. And so I really like how it turned out, and this was very fun to do. Next was the second page I completed out of this book, Fairy Tales and Folklore from Emily Liedel Oberg. And again, I'm trying to make sure I'm not hitting the phone as I turn the page. I did this one back in April of this year. I think this was there's a group on Instagram that's going through and completing a page every other month. So this was a part of that. It's really the only one that I've been able to do so far, which is fine. I love seeing everybody's work in this book, but again, maybe not my favorite page because of how it turned out, but it's my favorite page because it represents, me kind of exploring for the first time some different mediums. And like this was Inktense with pencils over top. There's some watercolor, there's some stamping ink, distress ink a little bit, and some good shading that's going on. So I feel like anytime I step outside of my comfort zone and start practicing and getting experience with other mediums, it stands out in my head because I'm like, oh yeah, this was like new for me and I enjoyed that. So it's in my top 10 for that reason. But I mean, I think it actually looks really good. The only thing that I didn't like about this page, I love the colors. I love yellow and purple together. The Easter eggs I really wanted to pop, and they are glitter gel pen. But because they kind of echo the same colors as the flowers, I feel like they didn't pop as much as I'd wanted them to. So I regretted the choice of color there and like kind of wished I'd done something a little bit different. But other than that, like I really like how it turned out and had a lot of fun coloring in this one. And actually the other page I think that I did was probably in my top for last year, of the fox, and I really liked that one. And I think that was the first time I had used like watercolor, and I liked how the fur came out. It's Fairy Tales and Folklore. I really like this one that I did out of the Knights of Tay-Realm coloring book from Ella Vernon, which is inspired by Taylor Swift and her different eras prior to Life of a Showgirl. And it's this page here. And I really like this one because I decided to go with the Wicked theme. That was my inspiration for the colors for the page, or the color palette, with the very light pastel pink on her mount, on her horse. And then with Taylor looking like Elphaba with the greens and blacks. There's lots of pearlescent watercolor. There's some gel pen, and I really love how that turned out. And I used, I used watercolor. It's a little crinkly. This page is in the section of the book called The Damsel. So it's divided by different eras, if you will. I'll show you. Meet the knights. So you've got princess, damsel, bard, warrior, and so on and so forth, up to the poet, which would correspond to the tortured poets department. This book's really cool. There is somewhat of a little group of us on Instagram that, we discuss our love for Taylor Swift, and then also like this book and coloring in it. So we did this one, and then this was our second page. So I guess what I'm saying is, if you are interested, you'd not heard about this book, would like to join, let me know. Amy Katz Colors on Instagram. But I had a lot of fun doing that one. All right. In Tales from the Witch's Cottage from Hannah Carlson, I did one this year. And it's nothing too grand or spectacular. I guess I should say that about most of my work, I feel like. But I love the simplicity of it. And I love how it's kind of like giving this vintage feel or vibe. And I don't even think I posted this one to Instagram. I was really not posting much to Instagram much this year, or in 2025, which I don't know. I don't care one way or another. I end up showing everything that I complete on YouTube. So, but anyway, I did Inktense, glitter gel pen, distress ink, and then in the background, this is like one of the sprays that I have that's like a glimmery gold that I've had since back a long time ago. I use sprays like this for scrapbooking. So I love how this one turned out. In Joanna's Christmas, this is one of my favorites from 2025. It actually was colored back in July, during Christmas in July, and I completed this page here. And this was a buddy color, and I used a lot of gel pen. I think it was all gel pen, actually, that I want to say. And I really like how this one turned out with, this is like my favorite stencil to use for coloring, is the Cloud stencil and some Tim Holtz Distress inks. I was actually in Atlanta on a little mini vacation coloring this one, and took inspiration from we were there for the All-Star game for Major League Baseball, and took inspiration from like that, the colors of All-Star and the Atlanta Braves for this, with the exception of the tree that I kept green. So that was a lot of fun. In A Million Little Monsters from Lulu Mayo, this is another one that I really liked how it turned out. And this is back in February. So what I really appreciate about this page was its ugly phase. So I based everything in water-based marker. And when you do that, before you do it, like I think I did the background last. I'm usually a background last kind of person. Probably 80-90% of the time. That's what I end up doing. But anyway, it just looks so bad, I feel like, in that ugly phase where you're just basing, and then you start bringing in some shading with colored pencils, and it just pulls it all together. And it did transfer a little bit over here. This is all fixable, but I don't think I did not spray it with the workable fixative, and that's probably why. But the background is what's transferring, and it's a watercolor. It's just watercolor for the background. I like how that turned out. This was also a buddy color. So much fun. And I think I've figured out the color palette all on my own. Like, I think I just knew what colors I wanted to be in here and kept it to like, the 5 or 6 colors, and then was like good to go with it. The other thing I appreciate about this is I don't actually complete many Lulu Mayo pages in a year, maybe like 2 or 3. I really need to do it more because I don't know what it is, but I always feel like I don't get that urge to color in Lulu Mayo. But then when I do, I love it. And I love everything that I've completed. Pretty much everything that I've done in a Lulu Mayo book I've really liked. So I don't know. I need to reach for her books more for sure. I promise I won't be taking as long to answer all the rest of the questions. This is an important one though, right? Top favorite completed pages. That's why I filmed it as a separate video last year. Anyway, moving on. Halloween from Hannah Carlson came out in 2025. This is the original edition. Had not yet. I did the pre-order. I think it's really the only reason why I got successful in getting it, because then I think, with the import things going on and all that, like it ended up becoming this whole thing. But anyway, I only did one page in here, and it was this one of the Reef. And what I like about this, it's not like, again, it's not technically difficult or challenging. It's not very, a lot going on or anything, but I really like how the usage of the color palette, which corresponded to one of the 4 that Erica from Elm Colors had posted for that month in October. And I really just like how it turned out. This is Inktense basically mainly Inktense. I don't even think I did much shading over top with pencil. I did use the black Jelly Roll Glaze here on the spider and some glitter, Jelly Roll glitter. When it came to the background, I knew I wanted to do something and I should have done it first. So I ended up just going with some like edging of the pink, and I think this is actually watercolor or Inktense. Maybe it's Inktense, either one, but I still like how it turned out. And I like how I incorporated the limited color palette for this one. And I love that book. Love it. In 50 Vacation Miniatures, I did this buddy with Chelsea over on Instagram, and this was one of my favorites because the elephant, I was like thinking pink elephant, and just went with that and did the monochromatic page all in pinks, and I love how it turned out. I love doing kind of like this bubble background with one of my stencils and there's like 3 different shades of pink there as well. And then the nails on the elephant are glitter gel pen. A black Jelly Roll Glaze here on the eyes. And there's some gel pen here too, but and then just a little bit of highlighting. But I always remember this page because I just was so tickled pink at how it turned out. I just love it so much. It makes me happy. This page makes me happy. All of her books make me happy, really. And Camellia Angel Cova. Oh no. Let's see. Next up, I'm really enjoying all the work that I've been doing in Serendipity from R.J. Hampson. And this is one of my faves. And it is Winter Joy, the first page. Hold on, do I need to back out a little bit? Yep. It's really not a lot to this. This is based with a Hoo Hoo alcohol marker with definitely some pencil shading. I don't know how well you can tell that, but that adds so much to this page is the shading. And then the snowflakes I went over with Wink Stella. Like the colorless Wink Stella, that it's really like a silver glitter. But I love this. I chose these colors myself. I was like, I just want to do like the mint green and blues and kind of in the gray, and went with that. And kept it simple, but to me, the execution of it just looks so good together, the colors. And then last but not least, I completed a page in Kirby's World Within Worlds, and this was the first page that I colored in here. It was also the first time I'd ever followed someone's color along, and this was Karen from My Colorful Country Life. She's actually got she's got tons of color alongs on her channel. She's been around on YouTube coloring for a really long time. This one I think was done in either 2020, 2021. She's done the whole book. And it was of the library waterfall. And it turned out beautifully, as I knew it would. This page is amazing, and it did take a long time because I wanted to make sure that I was following everything like exactly as she was doing. So I would basically watch, pause, color, like so I wouldn't get behind. I love, 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 love the colors so much. And doing the pencil work was a lot of fun because I don't color that often with pencil anymore. But I really enjoyed the process. And so this was all Prismacolor with a touch of white gel pen, the crest of the top of the waves, or the splashing of the waves here. Yeah, so those are my top 10 favorite pages completed in 2025. Okay, question number 2 is, which of your colored pages received the most love on Instagram this year? And is this different from your favorite pages? So I did the top 9, and I will pop it up on the screen here so that you could see my top most liked post from my coloring Instagram account, Amy Katz Colors. And yeah, so you see some similarities there with my favorite pages. The Serendipity page made it, but again, like, I didn't post all of those pages on Instagram, the ones that I chose. So they they definitely weren't going to be the same. Yeah, but that's my top 9. That I don't know. I didn't go back and look to see which of the 9 had the most votes. It's probably the Kirby page if I had to guess. But yeah. Number 3, goals set and met. Did you set any coloring goals at the beginning of the year? Were you able to meet them? So this is where going back and watching my old video helped a lot. Helped jog my memory. And it was actually perfect. That video is so good. And I was like, man, this is all still relevant. And I'm probably going to give very similar answers, except for what I colored was different. But basically, no, I'm not that structured. My goal is to continue having fun with coloring. And that's about it. Keep coloring and have fun doing it. And so, yes, I accomplished that. I'm still coloring. I'm still coloring a lot. And I'm still making videos for YouTube. So that's cool. And I'm still active in the community. So yeah, check. Number 4, books colored. How many different coloring books did you color in this year? So thanks to my completed coloring book Excel spreadsheet tracker that I've been working on over the Christmas and New Year break that I have now finished, I can give you a pretty good answer for that. So it looks like, assuming I counted everything correctly, that I colored in 80 books in 2025, which is about half of my books. Because through doing that tracker, now know that I'm up to, if not counting the ones that I just got like after the new year, but I had at the end of 2025 170 books. So ish, 80, yeah, ish, about half. Okay, number 5. How many pages did you color this year? And did you set any personal targets? How many do you average a month? Oh, okay. Let me go math real quick. Okay, so I'm back from my mathing, and the math is telling me that I completed a total of 309 pages in 2025, which is cool. That is awesome. Now, keep in mind, a lot of what I've been coloring, if you've been following me for a while now, you may have seen that at least it's probably like 60% or more of what I color is color by number and like stuff that's on the easier side, cozy, cute type stuff. I lean towards that pretty heavily because I like to sit down and complete a page really quick. And I am not always feeling super creative. And that's why I really enjoy color by number for stress relief and all of that. So yeah, 309, I do not set a goal on that. No, because this is for me. And I like to share this, hobby with you all in the community and for those who are watching, but I don't set a goal on number of pages. So then, hold on, I didn't finish the math. So then that would mean that I'm averaging over 25 pages a month, which is a lot. I will say as I was looking through this and adding stuff up. By the way, this is my little, I don't do color planning, but I think that would be stressful for me. But I do have the little notebook where I write down some ideas, thoughts, and then I capture my monthly completed pages. That's how, so I've been doing completed pages now consistently through, in 2025 was my first full year on YouTube from January through December where I'd done a completed pages and like had at least captured, you know, how many total pages. I like to capture how many untouched. Most of the time I'm doing that. Most of the time I'm writing down number of buddies, projects, and then number of books and color by numbers. Those are just some of the things that I try to capture. And now that I have this tracker, it's going to be really cool. So I can really see. I'm not putting, I'll have to show you like maybe a screenshot of what I've done in Excel. It's not a ton of information, but it's enough to get out of it what I wanted, which was like a percentage based of like the, you know, books that I've colored in total, the number of untouched books, and like keep a tracker of that. I'm not necessarily recording when I purchased the book. Some of them, of course, in the past, I have no idea. Some of them from a while ago, but total number of books, but I'm capturing title, illustrator, or publisher, whatever I can find, or, you know, whatever I want to, whichever I choose to record. The publication for the book, the type, and I've categorized it down to like Amazon printed, paperback, hardcover, PDF, a couple few different things. I'm recording whether it's single or double-sided pages. And then I came up with some genres like to classify the books in, like whether it's comfy, cozy, bold and easy, color by number, intricate. I think I put detailed was what I would call most of those. And then I have the number of pages completed. So every month when I wrap this up for the month to do my completed pages videos, I can then go back as I'm pulling it all together and then update the spreadsheet so that I have a good running total of the completed pages. I'm also capturing the number of whips that I have in books and the total number of pages in the book. And some of them I include intro pages and like the nameplate page, and some of them I don't. It just kind of depends. And then from there I can figure out like a percentage complete of my book. So it was a lot of work and it took me a lot of time, but it was well worth it. It's gonna be worth it. So. But yeah, if you're interested, that's kind of, and it's like chicken scratch. It's not pretty. There's no, you know, I'm just kind of recording some stuff in here. And so like when I do tag videos and stuff, I'll write it in here. Okay, so let's see where we are with the questions. Number 6, community participation. How many buddy colors, hashtags, prompts, or challenges did you take part in this year? So to answer this one, I'm just going to give you an approximation. I probably could add up what I've like recorded, but I'm approximately doing 2 to 3 buddy colors a month, which is just kind of how I like it. I don't like getting overwhelmed with things that I have to color. I really like things to come organically where I'm like, oh, what do I feel like coloring in today? And lucky me, I have such a wide variety and selections of books and mediums that I can usually find something. So 2 to 3, and I do enjoy buddying. It does help me color in some things that I wouldn't normally have colored in, or, you know, whatever. But buddy colors, I usually try to keep it definitely under 5 a month is kind of like good for me. But I also do groups. There's like groups that I'll pop in and out of, some that I am better at coloring in than others consistently, but that it's good because it like gives you some inspiration and a chance to kind of like network, or not really network, but you know what I mean, like share the hobby with some other folks. And then what else was I going to say? So as far as the prompts and challenges, hashtags, like there are so many out now. it's hard for me to keep up with them all. But I mean, it's beautiful. It's a beautiful thing. You got a lot that you can choose from. So many groups, so many hashtags. The ones that I enjoy doing the most, or have enjoyed doing the most, are palette challenges, because palettes always help me color. Always. I love it. I love having a guide to go by. And so that's one. And then any bingo, the bingos, I love a bingo. I did like an Alice in Wonderland one for the Mad Tea Party November. I did like a fall one. I love a bingo. And then what are some of the others? Like gel pen, color your hoard. But yeah, I mean, hashtags are really fun. There are so many out there. Which, if you don't follow Passionista Colorista on Instagram, will give you a good snapshot of like all the ones going on for the month. It's great. It's fantastic. Love it. Okay, number 7, whips at the end of the year. So in doing my little tracker thing that I was telling you about, I did count up whips in books. And a big driver for that was for my untouched books, I'm considering it to be untouched if it's completely untouched. Like no completed pages, no whips. If it has a whip in there, it's not untouched. It's got some work in progress. So this is across my entire collection. And the whips might not even be whips that I started, because my daughter's colored in some of my books and some other folks have colored in some of my books. Mostly it's been me though, especially now that she has like kind of a collection of her own. It's since I've started the collection many years ago, I have, hold your breath, no, just kidding, 123 whips. It sounds like a lot, because it is a lot. I'm not even a whip type of person. It really does bother me to have something started and not finish it. But I've done it. I will do it. And I won't necessarily go back to them either. But because I feel like if you are not feeling it, then move on. Color something that you want to color. And I've definitely had those situations. I would say I don't think I had very many within the year. Like of those 120, whatever, there's probably just under 5 that happened in 2025, if I had to guess. I can think of a few in particular, but yeah, so sounds like a lot. Number 8 is Untouched Books. So there you go. So in doing all that analysis and spreadsheet, I came out to have a total of 31 completely untouched books that have no whips, no completed pages. Earlier in 2025, I did film an untouched coloring book collection. I would say I went back and rewatched that one too. I feel like I didn't really make great progress on the ones that were untouched. They kind of fall into 2 categories. One is I really, really love the book and I definitely want the book. I just haven't gotten around to coloring in it yet. Might be intimidation, but not really. I get a little bit of intimidation, but that wouldn't stop me completely. The other is I haven't colored in it for a reason, probably won't color in it, and I may need to destash. Through doing this tracker, I was able to identify a few more books that I'm like, but do I really want to keep it? Or am I keeping it maybe for sentimental reasons or something like that? Or was it a gift? I have a hard time, with letting some things go like that have some type of meaning. But anyway, so that's the untouched books. Okay, so where are we? I feel like I've been jumping around a little bit, but I haven't. I think I've covered all the questions correctly in order. Number 9, books completed. Did you finish coloring in any book? Did you finish coloring any books this year? Like, did you complete books? If so, which one? So, no, that's going to be no, I don't. I typically try to color across my collection. The only exception that I'll say is that I have been trying to intentionally color through and complete some color by number books. Pretty close to that for some of them, or making some really great progress. But the only other thing that would come close is the Advent coloring book. But that one that we did in 2025 is not completed because it had 15 bonus pages, and I only completed like half of the bonus pages. So I'm gonna say it's not really complete until it's complete. So I completed the Advent, but not the bonus pages, not the entire book. So no, and that's not my goal either. My goal isn't necessarily, I have to complete this book. My goal, you remember, I don't really have goals anyway, but my intention is to color in it, make some progress, make sure I'm coloring in a good range of my books, not necessarily that I have to set out to complete it. Okay. Number 10 is books added to collection. How many new books did you add to your collection this year? Well, what was really funny is after I figured that out, it's 55, but I still have the page in here from 2024 Coloring Reflections tag that I have my little notes in here because it's like the same questions, I think. I added 56. So I added the same number of books to my collection in 25 that I did in 24, approximately, within one book. So that was crazy. I was like, man, that's not bad. So been doing a pretty good job, I feel like. I'm the kind of person where if I have a lot of books and I can't color in them, I get really stressed out. I get overwhelmed. I don't want to be overwhelmed by my collection. I want to love and spend time with my coloring books. That sounds really creepy. That does sound really creepy. I didn't mean it that way. I want to know that I'm coloring in the books that I have. That's all. But I thought that was pretty cool. I was like, oh my gosh, that's like almost the exact same number. Did not expect that. So cool. Number 11 is new release coloring books. What was your favorite must-have release from 2025? So if I could only pick one, it would have been, do I have it still sitting here? Yeah. It's definitely Hannah Carlson's Halloween. When she teased the release of this book, and oh gosh, Halloween's just my favorite. And I was so excited, and it was the first coloring book that I pre-ordered, or one of the first ones. 2025 was the first time I'd ever pre-ordered any coloring book. Sounds crazy, right? So this one, but I also listed a few more that I wanted to mention. Honorable mentions, Winter Wonder from R.J. Hampson. I knew I wanted that one. I had only had Serendipity up until that point and was really enjoying coloring in it. Love R.J. Hampson. Dark Fairy Tales from Kirby. Now, I love Kirby. I love Kirby's work, and I've only colored a few things in Anamorphia and then the one that I shared on World Within Worlds. I've not colored in Dark Fairy Tales yet. I definitely will. I love that book so much, but I definitely wanted to get that one. And then Hannah Carlson's Christmas. The English edition came out this year, and I got it. It's another one of my favorites, and I knew that I had to have. And then for color by number, for the Hatchet Heroes or Hatchet Little Heroes, in 2025, we saw the release of the Pokemon and of the Care Bears. And I knew that I had to have these as well. I don't have the Pokemon within arm's reach. So, but anyway, I think I pre-ordered both of those, but love. And these are so addictive. These books, I really thoroughly enjoy coloring in, and they always turn out so beautifully. So I've done two now. I've done the Halloween and I've done the Christmas and Care Bears. But yeah, definitely books that I loved that came out in 2025. My daughter tells me that I've been recording for so long, so I better pick up the pace. If you're the type of person that listens to videos in fast speed, this will probably be one of the ones that you want to do that. I do that when I'm watching video, not all the time, but a lot of videos that I watch or audiobooks I'm listening to, it's like 1.5 speed for me, or 2 times sometimes. But anyway, all right, number 12, favorite coloring supplies. Which coloring supplies did you reach for the most this year? Any new discoveries? So for sure, it's going to be Ohuhu alcohol markers and the Guangna acrylic paint pens. I love them, and I use them a lot. That's what I'm using more than anything at this point. New discoveries. So I had always been a colored pencil colorist for a really long time. So a lot of the alcohol markers were new to me in 2024. 2025, I did cross over into a lot of new mediums. I got Neocolor 2s for the first time, Polychromos pencils, Gelatos, and Inktense pencils. And so there's a lot of new stuff for me to explore and have fun with in 2025. Did a lot of that. I do have just a few things probably left. I like to always look forward to something. Soft pastels I have not done. Watercolors I've always had. That's like when I started coloring way back when, I'd always had access to watercolors, anything that I would have used for scrapbooking. So the distress inks, the sprays, the spritzes, whatever. So all of that I already had. Gel pens and different types of markers. But yeah, anyway. So it was a big year for me for playing with new mediums. Number 13, most reach for book. I don't really have a good answer for that one. It's technically the Advent Calendar book, the Christmas Coloring Volume 2 from Jeanette Veronica is the one that we did. Also, some of my color by number I reach for the most, or that would be second. But yeah, it was nothing. There's no standouts. Number 14, most challenging page. So I'm going to go with Kirby's, the color along, the World Within Worlds, but not for the reason that you might think. It wasn't that it was difficult to do. It was difficult for me because of the time and patience that it takes to do it. That's all. Because I have been doing so much coloring that is just that it can be done just within an hour or two, or maybe for some of the color by numbers that are pretty detailed, maybe it's more than that. But this took a lot longer. I think her videos alone, if you colored along and didn't stop, might have been 5 or 6 hours total. And then it took me even longer because I was starting and stopping to make sure that everything looked right. So it was difficult because it took long. And that's why I don't color a lot of this stuff right now, because I don't want to spend a couple weeks working on a page. I enjoy that sometimes, but it's not all the time for me. It's not going to be that's how I color the entire year. I can color like that a few times, but anyway. So that's what I'm going to say for challenging. Number 15 is coloring book surprise. Was there a book or page that surprised you with how much you enjoyed it? Yes. It's been a while since I've talked about it, but hold on, I think, okay, so truth be told, I didn't go back and look and see. I may have purchased this at the end of 2024, but I didn't color in it until 2025, beginning of 2025, so February. So forgive me if I already used this in the other reflections, but Mythagoria or any of the gory horror books were never my thing before. Never, ever. Didn't own any of them. I still don't like a lot of them. However, this is why this is the coloring book surprised. I was surprised with some of the newest releases in Mythagoria. This one's by Fabiana Attanasio, or illustrated by Fabiana Attanasio. Surprised by how much I like them. So I have this one, Haunted Hearts. So it's my only real horror book that I have so far. But I love how it is dark. It's not as gory as some of them, but it's not just gory for the sake of gory. This one has a lot, it's more gothic to me. It's very intricate, of course. But I don't know. It's like, there's a lot of, it's beautifully done. Beautifully done. There's definitely some emotion there. Like this was one of my favorite pages, and I love it. And there's actually several of them now that I'm like, they're dark and twisted, but they're beautiful in a dark way, in a good dark way. And that I like this one. That I do like. I don't necessarily like ones that are just gross, you know what I mean? If that makes any sense. But I love this page. Did this in February. I had a vision for what I wanted it to look like. I used watercolor. I used alcohol marker. I used pencil. I used metallic gel pen. And it didn't make my top 10 because at the end, I went with this blue, and I wish I had not. I wish I had done a different color. Like maybe just gray. I don't know. I wasn't totally thrilled with the color, but definitely this I did first, and I loved how that turned out. And I love my clouds. So, but yeah, that was a surprise because I would have never thought that I would have been into the Mythagorias, but they've done pulled me in now. So I love them. And once I color a few more in here, I might consider getting some of the other ones as well. Number 16 is how many videos did you create for your channel this year? So YouTube supposedly released some type of recap thing, but it's never shown up for me. I've even watched a YouTube video on how to get it, and that didn't work. It sounds like maybe it didn't come out for everybody. I do have the latest version of the apps and all that. But anyway, I never could get the recap because I think that would be kind of cool way of looking at your data. But anyway, I did 47 videos in 2025, which is a little slightly less than one a week, which is pretty much what I target to do, is to do one a week because it's about all I have time for. Number 17, favorite video you made. So my hands down, my favorite videos to film are tag videos. I love sharing, you know, and seeing what other people share, some same questions, different colorists, to get to learn about, you know, people and whatever. But the tag videos are my favorite. For 2025, I did a color by number tag. Did not catch on, really. I don't know that anybody else did it, but it was all about, like, I came up with it about color by numbers in my collection. I might have to do that again because I have way more color by number now. But that was a lot of fun. I really enjoyed that one. I enjoyed all the tag videos, but then I also did a video. I don't think it was a tag, but I did a video early in 2025 about my coloring adjacent hobbies. So things that are also kind of like artsy or creative or involving some type of book or whatever. And so you get to know a little bit more about me outside of coloring. So I really liked that video too. So if you haven't seen those, go check them out. What are you waiting for? Okay. Number 18, your coloring routine. Did your coloring habits or routine change this year or 2025? And I said, when I was planning for how I was responding to these questions, I said no major shifts or changes. I'm still doing like a good portion of my coloring is on the easier side and color by number for the moment. Number 19 is, did you learn or experiment with any new techniques this year? So it's the new techniques learned. New techniques learned. So aside from the new mediums that I mentioned earlier and playing with those for the first time and using those, I also did some new techniques that had come about in the community from the bold and easy or cute and comfy books. And I did a lot of those techniques in this advent calendar. And so, for example, I wanted to do the gingerbread effect. I had seen this done. I like how it turned out. I don't love the browns that I had left in my collection for alcohol markers, but this was really cool. Like, you go over the lines with a white Posca or paint pen, and then you do some dots, but it looks like frosting. So that was a lot of fun. That's not really a new. Okay, so this one is like the knitting effect. That you make it look like a sweater with the knit pad. That was really cool to do. That was new. So this was the neon effect. And there's a couple different ways you can do the neon effect. But because I almost felt like I loved how this turned out. And it looks kind of like chalkboard even. Like it could have been a chalkboard. But neon / chalkboard effect. That was really cool. You like color the whole thing black, and then you go over the lines with white, and then go around that in the color. So that was cool. That might be the only. Oh no, washi tape. So this is not a new technique. This has been around for years, and there's a lot of folks on the internet who are still doing this, I think. But you'll find there's videos that are out there. I'm happy to also do a tutorial because I don't know that there's necessarily a recent one, but there's a couple ways that you can do this too, but you can, like I have an X-Acto knife, and just lightly cut after you put it down around whatever shape. And this is one way to apply it. This is like definitely on the easier side, but that was a lot of cool. That was a lot of cool. That was a lot of fun and is cool. Washi tape, something else that I have had in my stash for a really long time from the scrapbooking. And that might be, did the sweater again, or the knitting again on this one. But I think, tried blending. I don't do a whole lot of blending. I don't like, it stresses me out. So that might be it. So yeah. those are techniques. Number 20, inspirational artist or colorist. Who inspired your coloring this year? So there's way too many for me to name. So many people, everybody that is on Instagram and YouTube. The one thing that I'll maybe mention for 2025 is that I also occasionally, not often, will go over to TikTok and look at some stuff for coloring. So that would have been the only difference for last year. I still use Pinterest a good amount. I still just use Google to search things. But yeah, there's so many people who are doing this hobby, and I get inspiration from all of them. Number 21, memorable coloring moment. Were there any special or memorable moments related to coloring this year? So when I think back on the year and the things that stand out the most, to me, it's all times where we were on vacation coloring, either together with family, or even if I was just alone or whatever. So I don't know. It's just that all, I suppose it's because I'm on vacation, but I always enjoy all those memories of like coloring on the go or coloring during travel. I love that. In 22, coloring community reflection. How did the adult coloring community impact your year? Any collaborations, friendships, or inspiring moments? Yes, lots of new friendships, lots of new groups, collaborations. That's one of the fabulous things that I accomplished in 2025 was that I actually participated in my first full community project books or collaborations. They were all Christmas related. I did the Gabby Wolf Christmas. I ended up coloring 4 half pages in that. And that was hosted by Amanda Colors. That was really cool. I did the Winter Wonder from RJ Hampson. And that was a full book collaboration hosted by Joe at Piggy Pens. And then I also did the Merry Christmas or God Yule from Hannah Carlson. And that was also, it was a full book collaboration. And they were all shared with the illustrators and stuff. I mean, that was really cool. That was really a highlight for me, was being able to do those things this year. Number 23 is proud learning moment. What's a moment where you were challenged yourself creatively, and how did it turn out? So I also would have probably put this in the top 10, but I was like, I knew I wanted it. I wanted to use this for this question, but I did my first kind of altered page in Star Wars Art of Coloring for Space Timber, hosted by Soraya Colors and a group of colorists. I have it tagged. I don't know why I'm flipping like I don't. I have it marked. And this is a huge book, so try to get as much of this on screen for you as I can. But this was a lot of fun, and I love how it turned out. And there's an altering pages group on Instagram if you are interested. I need to do this more often, and I love the results. I love seeing other people's altered pages as well. I mean, I love regular coloring, but this was a lot of fun. And this was one of the parts of the challenges in Space Timber. But basically, this is like a double page wallpaper of Boba's helmet. And this was another page in the same book where it was a whip. I had colored this section, and I was like, we're just going to transplant that. We're going to cut that. I fussy cut this, glued it to this one after I had sprayed and inked the whole thing. And then I went in and used Super Golden markers and Jelly Roll Glaze Black to color in some of the helmets. Used a washi tape for a border here. It's a glitter black washi tape. Did some star stamps around the page. And then I have a ton of Star Wars stickers. So I went through them and selected the ones that were Boba Fett. And so they're relevant, and I did this double page spread. It's altered page, and I thought that was really, really cool. So yeah, that was a proud moment for me, learning to do an altered page. Number 24, looking ahead to 2026. What are your coloring goals or plans for the coming year? So I don't really do too many separate planning videos. I do that from time to time when I can't come up with anything better to do. But I said it earlier, and it's not gonna change. Like, I just really want to have fun. Really have fun coloring. One thing that was different in 2025 for me, I could have said this earlier in the community participation stuff, but I do try to leave more comments on other people's videos, because it's a good way to actively engage in the community. And I like it when people leave me comments. So I feel like I should return the favor and also leave friendly, nice comments. So I try to do that. I definitely didn't do that when I started the channel in 2024, in July of 2024. And it's hard to do. Like, if you're coloring and you're watching videos in the background or whatever, you might, it's not always easy to do. And you might be watching a ton of different videos. So, but I've made it a point to do that as much as I can. And, but I don't always. So that's something. But yeah, I just want to keep coloring. And I do want to keep making videos for YouTube. I can't promise it'll ever be more than one a week-ish, just until, new chapter of my life, would begin once my kids are like maybe grown and out of the house and not doing all these activities and stuff. I wouldn't trade it for the world, but I'm just saying I'm kind of busy. And also still working full time. So, all right, we are down to the last question. Who knows how long this video is going to end up being? This is going to be a fun one to post, or to put together and post. But number 25 is 2026 new books or products. Are there any new books or products that you're really looking forward to? I'm of all the ones that are coming out, the ones that I would put up there for sure are the mythographic Alice in Wonderland. So excited about that one. And then Inklings from Joanna Basford. I have small victories. I am a small book, travel, pocket-sized book kind of person. I love them. In fact, I wish I had colored in small victories more in 2025. I think I only did one. This one. I love this one too. But I'm super psyched about Inklings. So I've done a few pages in here. I need to spend some more time in this book. Oh, come on. Of course, I'm not going to flip to anything that's completed. Like, there. That was, like, I think my first one that I did in here. And there's a few others. But I love this book. I love that one. But, yeah. So those are, and there's a lot. One of the videos I'm getting ready to watch is another one where they're talking about new releases of coloring books coming out in 2026. So anyway, thanks for joining me. If you stuck around through this entire video, drop in the comments a little celebratory emoji con, like the one that's like the confetti pop or whatever, or something similar to that. Appreciate you. And thanks to everyone for supporting me in 2025. And so happy that you're here watching. And I hope to see you again real soon. Take care. Bye-bye.